What's going on, everybody? It's High Def Dan. It's been a while. I'm outside. It is the warmest day of the past couple of months today. And by that, I mean it's 42 degrees, windy, and about to rain. So I want to get this cigar review done really quick. Shit. I got some coffee here. I sweetened with actual sugar instead of sweetener this time to see if it'll help with the cigar. And I had to take it out of the label to make the thumbnail. But we have this guy today that I actually bought at the gas station. That's literally a 30-second walk around the corner from me. They have a humidor. And this is in like a nice glass tube. It's this guy. It's called a Partagas Flor de Tobacco since 1845, and I have it here. It's up on Cigars International. It is, I'm going to put it up here in the profile description. It's all the way into the deep red. It's a Connecticut broadleaf from the Dominican Republic. An attractive sun-grown beauty unlike any other Partagas cigar blend. Partagas Black is an enticing full-bodied cigar, full and rich. Partagas' gorgeous, oily Medio Tempeo sun-grown wrappers and large rings are the perfect vehicles to deliver the powerful blend of Nicaraguan and Cuban seed Ligero filters. Excellent construction, a gentle draw, a rich, robust character make this a bold and enticing cigar. It has a 90 rating. So here it is. A very rich flavors coming off of this. A very rich scent coming off of this guy. It smells. I'm a very huge fan of the scent that I'm about to say. So this is not a dig on this cigar for me to say that it smells like freshly laid mulch. I'm going to V-cut it today, because why not? I've been doing punch so often. It's been a while since I've done a V-cut. It's an interesting flavor coming off of that. Not what I'd expect from something that says it's Nicaraguan. Initial flavor, not terrible. Very smooth retrohale. I don't know how to describe the flavor. I'm already telling you. Initially, I like Padron better still. Do I hate the cigar? No. Do I love the cigar? No, not yet. It's a very just heat type flavor. It's like a peppery burn in the back of the throat. It's very earthy though. Oh, that was a much better puff on that one. I let it kind of burn down a little bit. I sat here and I waited and I didn't puff on it. I didn't smoke on it. I just kind of let it burn down away from that initial where I had lit it. And there is flavor. There is flavor in that. It is a smooth, smoky, obviously smoky, but I mean like smoky in the sense of you're eating smoked meat, like hickory smoked or whatnot. There's a smoky flavor on it. There's an earthy flavor on it. There's a hint of sweetness coming off of this cigar. Yeah, that is a pleasant smoke. A very pleasant smoke coming off of this. It is not overpowering. It doesn't make me go, ugh. It's nice. It's enjoyable. It's a nice full-bodied smoke on this cigar. The flavor is coming around from that initial lighting of the cigar. Very nice. I'm not a huge fan of Dominican cigars. I never have been. This one, I'm kind of on the fence with this one. There are some decent flavors because of the Connecticut broadleaf and some of the Nicaraguan fillers that are in here, but overall, I've never been a fan of Dominican cigars. I really like Nicaraguan cigars. I like Brazilians. I'm not the biggest fan of Cuban or Honduran. Honestly, I've had some cigars that were made in Florida that are very good. I like American cigars. I really like American cigars. I guess my thing with Nicaraguan cigars, what I like the most is when you smoke it, it's a smooth, very rich flavored, earthy, chocolatey smoke. There's a hint of vanilla in them sometimes, very sugary. Same with Brazilian cigars. They're very sweet and sugary and earthy, and those are nice, and they hit the tongue really well. They have a really good flavor. They go very well with things like Dr. Pepper, root beer, coffee. They go very well with those things. And most cigars should go well with coffee in my eyes. This one, the coffee is definitely kind of the saving grace of this cigar right now. It's mellowing out. I'll give it that. It's mellowing out quite nice. It's smoking quite nice. It's burning very evenly. I think the pairing it with a sugar sweetened coffee instead of a sweetener sweetened coffee is really helping this flavors be way more pronounced on this cigar. The smoke is a nice pale white, sweet tasting smoke. I'm starting to enjoy the cigar more as I smoke it. As we're getting through it, the flavors are kind of changing. They're becoming more pronounced, more sweet, more also subtle at the same time. There's an earthiness to this cigar. It's very good. This is becoming very enjoyable. This is probably one of the best Dominican cigars I've smoked to date. It's a very enjoyable cigar. I just keep saying that, but it's really turning around on me. Yeah, there's an air of sweetness. That more earthy tone is starting to come out a little bit more, like a sweet, earthy, mulchy cigar, which is good. I love the smell of mulch. I can't tell you what mulch tastes like. I never fucking ate the shit, but this is good. It has really turned around on you. The sweetness is gone. It's more just an earthy kind of a flavor right now. And as much as I love a nice sweet cigar, an earthy cigar is just as good. I'm telling you, if you smoke a nice earthy cigar mixed with some nice hot sugary coffee, that mixes with that coffee so well, man. I love when a cigar pairs very well with like coffee. It pairs very well with Coke or Dr. Pepper or root beer or stuff, or like, things sweetened with sugar and not aspartame and corn syrup and all that stuff. Things sweetened with cane sugar or regular granulated sugar that you buy at Walmart. That is nice. When things pair well with stuff like that, it is nice, and that is what this cigar is doing, and it is doing it very well. The cigar is staying pretty intact as well too. There were a couple pieces that fell off and came unraveled a little bit, but it's holding together. It's very nice. It leaves like a nice earthy tone aftertaste into the mouth. I've had a lot of cigars that just make my mouth feel prickly, and it burns, and it just leaves a burning, gross taste in my mouth. This one's leaving a very nice flavor. Again, not nearly as good as Padron or Oliva, but I would put this, I don't know, probably somewhere in between the HC White, which I rated pretty low, I think, and the Mark Twain cigar from a couple years ago. I think 2 years ago now. Mark Twain was really good. The HC White was okay. This cigar is surprising me kind of similarly in the way that the Arganese cigar did, where I thought a $4 cigar that came out of a pack of like 15 cigars wouldn't be that good. That whole pack was pretty damn good. Now, as I've gotten through this cigar a lot more, it's very nice. The flavors are kind of going away, but this cigar is not the worst cigar I've ever smoked. It's one of the better ones. Now that it's kind of towards the end of its life, I know there's quite a bit left, but I'm saying this as I'm getting nothing but hot tobacco ember flavor in my mouth right now, because it may be burned up to here, but I can feel it all the way down to like here. It's all smooth. And so, would I smoke this cigar again? If you gave me this coffee with cream and regular ash sugar in it, yes, I would smoke this cigar again, because I would pair it with this cigar. I would love to pair this cigar with maybe some Coca-Cola, maybe some Dr. Pepper, or some root beer, or something. Whiskey, maybe. I feel like this would be a very good cigar to pair with like an old-fashioned or whiskey on the rocks. It's not a bad cigar. The flavors are there. I think the issue with this cigar, and it could be a one-off to this specific one, is that the flavors are there, but they are so mellow. And for me, smoking the cigar, I would get a little bit of sweet, and then I would get nothing but smoke flavor. Then I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of this. And then I would get earthy, and then I would get nothing but hot ember, and I'm not sure I'm a fan of this. And then I would get a combination of the earthy and the sweet. So it's like a staged cigar. It gives you flavor in stages, but for me, I had to deal with the fact that I was getting these flavors and stages in between having to deal with just this cigar tastes like shit. But I don't think that threw it off for me all that much. It's still smoking incredibly well. There's still a nice smoke coming off of this, an even burn. The ash is nice. It's not coming unraveled all that much. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of how I had to have flavor, bad, flavor, bad, flavor, bad. I'm at the point right now, I'm still smoking it, even though it's kind of towards the end of its life, but it's still kind of, I can feel the flavor that it did have going away, and it's being replaced by just a hot ember smoky flavor. But I will give this cigar credit. When it did have flavor, the flavor was pronounced. It was very nice. It was up front. You could tell it was there. It paired very well with this coffee. Um, Now, I don't remember what I paid for the cigar. I think I paid $8, $8 or $9 for it. The gas station at the corner of my street has a miniature humidor, and I'm planning, as I have the money to do so, to get a cigar from there and review it until I have reviewed every cigar in their humidor before I start ordering cigars again or going to the cigar store to get better cigars or review more product lines of cigars, because I've reviewed the Oliva Series O, I've reviewed the Oliva Series G, um, or I think I just did the Series G. I've had the Series O and the Series V outside of YouTube content, so I didn't want to review them. Right now, as I've come to the end of this cigar, I've finished smoking it. Give a more kind of full, in-depth review. The cigar, it was in a very nice package. It was very nicely presented to me. It was very nicely presented to the buyer, I should say. And upon opening the cigar and taking the initial puff or sniff of it, I found it to be a very pleasant flavor or scent coming off of this cigar. It smelled very earthy. There was a hint of chocolate, and like I said, it smelled like freshly laid mulch, which is a plus in my mind. On the initial dry puff of it, and I say dry puff as in not having lit it yet, there were some unique flavors coming off of it, and I could only say how I could describe it is there was some earthiness, and there was how I would imagine the scent of mulch tasted came off of that cigar, which wasn't that bad. After initially lighting the cigar, I did get that typical, you just lit this, it is very hot and smoky and embery and ashy kind of flavor. But as I sat around for a little bit and I let it burn away a little bit, and once I started smoking past that initial point, the flavors were, they were there, but they were kind of like popped in and left. But in those flavors that popped in and left very quickly, I got earthy, I got sweet. There was a time where I got kind of a chocolatey, almost like a chocolate vanilla Neapolitan ice cream, chocolate and vanilla mix kind of a flavor going on there, um, which was nice. Which was nice. The cigar was able to very well keep its wrap. However, doing the V cut, it did unravel a little bit where I was smoking it. But after that, it stayed. It stayed together. It never came unraveled. I will say the pack for it was a little tight. I was using a little bit more effort than I would have liked to get smoke out of that cigar. Um, but the smoke I did get was decent. It was full bodied. It had a very nice retrohale. So I'm here now, obviously, for the ratings and flavor, pack, wrap, and presentation. I think they are flavor, wrap, pack, and presentation. So for flavor on this cigar, I'm gonna have to go a 2.5 on this cigar, and that is only because the when it did have flavor, it had flavor very briefly before switching right back to a very unpleasant, smoky ember hot taste on it. And if the flavor was more uniform throughout the cigar, I could easily rate the cigar a 3, maybe even a 4 for flavor. But it was very inconsistent. It didn't keep the flavors that it was giving me or the flavors that it would say on Cigars International, nice, deep, robust flavor. It really didn't keep that in my mind. We have wrap. I'm also going to give that a 3. Well, it did stay wrapped. It did kind of start to come unraveled a little bit right at the point where the smoke was coming. There was a leaf hanging off of it for most of the review, but that leaf did stay on. Um, this is why I like the punch, because I could just put a little hole in it, and I've never had a punch come unraveled, which I wanted to do a V-cut because I've done the punch on every cigar I've reviewed lately. The packed, I'm also going to give a 3. It wasn't too tightly packed, but it wasn't loosely packed enough to where it was easy to smoke. I felt like I was using a lot of effort to smoke this cigar. I had to like suck the smoke in with a bit of effort, which I wasn't a huge fan of. I like when a cigar is wrapped not too loose but not too tight. It's airy. I can smoke it leisurely. That's a very nice cigar. A presentation, I'm giving that a 5. That is the first cigar I've ever bought that came wrapped in a glass vial with like, it was gold colored wrapping, and it wrapped cigar, or packaged cigar. So those are my ratings for the cigar. I'm going to average it out in the editing here. I don't have time to remember what I did here. It is so cold, my hands are numb. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. It may be all over the place. It may be a little off the cuff. The video may be shorter. It's been a while since I've done a cigar review. I need to get back into the groove of doing these. And once I really get back into the groove, I can make a lot more in-depth cigar reviews and whatnot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. The Discord link will be in the description. I've revamped the Discord, so now it is much more professional looking. There's areas where you can talk about camping, outdoors, fishing, hiking. There's tobacco talk. There's gaming talk. It's all there. So please feel free to join that Discord, discuss in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.